I have to watch Baby Shark videos in the clinic and Squid Games at home. So it's a big contrast, and it's so depressing to see people die and being shot in that show. And they're saying, you've not reached the end yet. You've not reached the show has been over. Like it's been online for the last 1 month and you've not even seen it. I remember in COVID times, I never missed a single friend of mine because it was a party at home every day. You put on the music, they teach you about songs you can't even imagine your childhood here at this age. They explain you the lyrics because most of the time it's all bouncers and bouncers, right? You don't understand. Then they apologize for the cuss words in the song, saying it is not mine, it is in the song. So please ignore it. I'm not going to use that language. So it's okay, go on. So these are things you need to change.
Dr. Parekh, thank you so much for chatting with us. Time and again, you've been a great, great support all through the anxieties of the pandemic with Kidstop Press. You've addressed every little detail that we wanted. You debuted on Instagram through this pandemic, and what a debut that was, right? You're a star.
No, I think it was three things, Mansi. One is number one, how you conducted the whole thing. Number two, the situation was such that it was the need of the hour. So it was called for. And number three, we were at a stage where no one knew nothing about. And fortunately, whatever discussed and whatever we felt and whatever we put it across came out to be pretty true. So it was quite a revelation at that time. It was a complete panic-stricken state, and we helped calm things down. So I'm glad we could help at that particular time.
No, 100%. I was, like I was telling you earlier, that the amount of anxiety and anxious parents that you have impacted with your work, I think is just brilliant. Tell me, Dr. Parekh, as a father.
Correct.
And tell me a little bit about your kids and how old are they?
So my kids, they're 16 and 14 now. They're teenage girls. So they're old now, but, I have transformed myself from a parent to a friend long time ago because the parenting wasn't working.
Well, what was long time ago? Everybody, because you're a pediatrician, everybody is taking down notes, right? कि अगर 12 साल में start किया था Dr. Parekh ने, तो मैं भी वही साल में start करूँगी. So you have to spill the beans and give the details.
So I'll give you the details in the form of, keep your antenna up. When your child, gives you that eye, when your child stops getting scared of something that you are telling him or her, when your child has a ready answer. We had ready answers for our parents, but that was when we had enough.
That was too polite. Yeah, that was too polite. We didn't give those answers.
No, the answers were nice. Yes, sir. But Dad, I would just like to say, I think this is my point of view. And this was when I was 16 and 18. Now at 10 and 12, when you get answers like talk to the hand, they are answers like, no verbal communications are up rolling of the eyeballs. Answers like everyone's doing it.
Stop it.
Stop to the hand. Talk to the hand. So those are the initial signs that you will see, okay, you know what, your parenting is not working.
Yeah.
When you stop getting answers to your questions, even after asking the same question again and again and again, where they start pretending that you don't exist when you're talking. When they see right through you, when they're looking at you, but they're not looking at you, and you're talking to a wall. So these are subtle signs that, step out of your parents' shoes and start befriending them before it gets too late. Where you start hearing stuff about how bad you were as a parent from her friend's father, who she went and complained and said, my dad said this, and my mom, how could they even do this? And my friend called me and said, boss, what are you doing with your children? So when this happens is the time where you need to befriend. Befriending can start now at 9, 8, 10, 11, depending on every child. But it's way before we started befriending our parents. So, if you try and label time periods that they are too young for this, you're wrong. Get your antennas up, look for these signs we discussed, and befriend them. Because let me give you the good side of it. The flip side of the coin is if you befriend them in time, you are going to have a blast. I remember in COVID times, I never missed a single friend of mine because it was a party at home every day. You know, you put on the music, they teach you about songs you can't even imagine your child would hear at this age. They explain you the lyrics because most of the time it's all bouncers and bouncers right in front of you. But you don't understand. Then they apologize for the cuss words in the song, saying it is not mine, it is in the song. So please ignore it. I'm not going to use that language. So it's okay, go on. So these are things you need to change.
Are you that father who like reads through the lyrics of all the songs your girls are going to listen to?
No, yeah. I enjoy the lyrics as long as my kids know what they're listening to and what it means. Because if you explain them half the time, say, oh, this is very bad, I'm not going to listen to this song anymore. So, you need to communicate. You need to establish a kind of a frank conversation of this is what it is. If you're in that shoe that, okay, this is not the time to talk to your child about this at this age, you're already very late and you're wrong. There is no time now. There is no benchmark that says at this age, this cannot be discussed with your child. Your child will give you enough signals that you are breaking off the shackles of parenthood and befriending them. You need to grab those signs. You need to pick up on those signs and you need to act on them ASAP before, you kind of lose being in that circle of your child. You need to be in that circle, inner circle of your child, do what it takes, because that's the only way you can keep communicating with them. And without communication, there is nothing. You can't teach them, you can't learn from them, you can't be there when they need you the most, because they will be smiling in front of you and they will go talk about the things that hurts them the most to their closest friend, who then tells you, and that is the day you will say, look, there's something wrong. My child should have told me this when I was sitting right in front of her for dinner. Maybe something that I could not open up or create that environment where she felt comfortable. So that is when it's going to break your heart. I've had a few heartbreaking. I've learned the hard way. Everybody learns the hard way. So be mentally prepared to see that happen. But my only request to all the parents is don't cling on to norms set by your parents. Don't cling on to norms set by your friends and colleagues. Every child is different. But one word of advice, keep those antennas up.
100%. I have enjoyed this last question the most because I could relate to it like 100%. Like, they just look through you or they just show the sign or
Right.
So, but tell me, how have you drawn boundaries while being a friend?
So what happens is when you sit down as a friend, you have to tell them what about them troubles you the most. And trust me, the way you have raised your children, they have enough sensitivity to see that they are doing something that hurts you, they will not do it. So
Right.
Boundaries cannot be set by calling it the law of the land. It's my way or the highway. My house, my rules. Doesn't work anymore. You have to actually make them realize that them doing certain things hurts you. You have to give them reasons why it hurts you. You have to give them reasons why you think it is wrong and what it can do to them when they grow up if they take on certain habits and behaviors. Right. And that's how they realize by extreme, what we call as internalization, self-realization, that change in them will be permanent. Yeah. Because if they don't internalize, they don't introspect, you don't make them introspect and make them do and feel what they are doing about it is right or wrong, they're just going to listen to your advice through one ear and get it out from the other.
100%.
So till it's not from inside, and it's your job as a parent to create that feeling from inside. Yeah. By telling them what you are going through, by opening up to them. So if you want your child to listen to you, open up to them.
Yeah.
Tell them what you feel. You may be wrong. They may land up convincing you that you've been wrong all this. That's also fair.
Yeah.
But you need to open up to them.
Right. And, when I interviewed one of my favorite players, Andre Agassi, he said a lovely thing, which is so relevant here. He said, Mansi, rules without relationships will always equal to rebellion. So build that relationship first, then layer it with rules. Hopefully you'll not have.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if you're an Agassi fan.
Yeah, me too. I'm more of a Pete Sampras fan, but
I am
congratulations.
too, but you can't not love Agassi, right? So it was a tough call back then.
He's our favorite, even more so after he married Steffi Graf. So.
Oh God. Clearly we are sharing our age here, right? By having this conversation.
My kid must be going like, who are these people talking about? Yeah, but kids in general have been my strength and armor during the lockdown. My kind of went when I go home after a heavy day's work. By no means by just taking their names do I want to underplay my wife's efforts, because she's the one also who keeps me sane, who bears with me. We're all, at home, different people, and then we are outside. So, truly appreciative to family support. There can be nothing.
Are you that father like you mentioned कि जब clinic में आते हैं तो the child says जब मम्मी घर पे नहीं होती पापा is the one who gives the chocolates. Are you the one?
Yeah, I'm the good
spoiler?
cop. I'm the good cop. Yeah, I give them a lot of stuff that my wife thinks that I am really crazy. She thinks that, you make me do all the bad work and you're the only one who wants to have the good time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with two daughters, and my wife, beyond after a certain age, we have three ladies in the house. For sometimes I feel now I'm going to go into some postpartum stuff, because 3, 4 women in the house, it is, sometimes they all are at each other's throats to a point where actually I have to calm them down, put all of them in separate rooms for some time, go talk to them individually, then bring them down on the dinner table and, make peace between them. So
Wow.
yes, I do that part of the job as well sometimes, but most of the times I'm the good cop and my wife's the bad cop.
Incredible. Last bit of this segment, Dr. Parekh, which is just answer in a word. It's your rapid fire round. You have to be as crisp with your answers as possible. Let's see how you fare after staying with 3 women in the house.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Is it okay to edit, or should I just go all out and
just go? Just be the answers. If you feel like there's one that you want to edit out, we will.
Okay, no problem.
Let's start. One thing you love about parenting.
The fun times.
One thing that is challenging about parenting.
That can't take so much time, ma'am. Decision making.
Okay. What is easier, newborns or teenagers?
Newborns.
Okay. Sleepless nights which was exactly the question. Sleepless nights when they're born, or sleepless nights when they're out, when they're teenagers?
Absolutely, when they're teenagers.
One thing that will teach your children values you grew up with.
Honesty. I think extremely important.
Okay. One value that you wish you could pass on to your girls.
Communication.
Okay.
I have a problem. I over communicate, but I think communication is the key to any successful relationship, even parenting.
Okay. One thing you said you would never do as a doctor that you do now.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Is it Instagram?
Okay, that's a tough one. Okay, I'm going to be very honest. Over medicate.
Okay.
I'll give you a reason for that. When I became a doctor, we always are supposed to treat what is required. But nowadays, we end up giving little more medicines because a lot of parents want quick relief, instant better. Oh, we want to travel tomorrow, start antibiotic. We try and still stay away from it as much as possible. But I can't blame myself. Sometimes to keep things going for the parents, to make it easier for them, we tend to do it.
Okay. One thing you hate parents asking you.
How old are you? No, just kidding.
That's a good one. Why you hate it?
They get confused. They think, I behave like a child, I dress like a child, and then I have 2 teenage days.
You're too cool to be a doctor. That's why.
Exactly. That's what it is. They're
going to stop asking you इस podcast के release के बाद, because they already know now कि ये तो Pete Sampras के ज़माने का है.
Yeah, now I just bust the bubble right there. That's a big problem. Pete Sampras, that means you're a 90s guy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. One funny message query you received by a parent in the middle of the night.
It's one query where, in the middle of the night, the child had a very high fever. I dictated a medicine. They said, hold on. They took 10 minutes to find a pen and paper at 2 in the morning. Then they took 7 minutes to write it down. And then they asked me, is it okay if I call for it in the morning?
Oh man, like seriously. Oh God. Okay. Not one actually, a couple of teen lingos you learned from your girls.
What's up, brah? Is
Okay.
one, which he calls me the same. My teenage daughter, sometimes in a good mood, calls me by my first name. What's up, Nikki? That's my pet name.
Okay.
She does that. Talk to the hand. It's old now, but long time ago.
Okay.
And one more she recently said. TBA or something. I forgot.
TBS is to be announced. That's not even.
No, talk to you later. So something, the short form of talk to you later.
Talk to you. TTYL?
Yeah, and the commonest thing is, hi, what's up, when we have on a family chat. All of them say NM, 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 NM. And I kept wondering, what is NM?
Yeah.
Nothing much. So these lingos are insane. So it's really nowadays they all don't even answer by typing, not even emojis. The latest thing is just GIFs. They all keep sending these funny GIFs of them dancing or prancing or whatever.
I know we're really overshot on time, but I have to say this, that, you know, when my daughter first got her phone and she started typing on the family chat, my husband's like, Anya spellings. Like he was only proofreading the spellings for the first 1 week. And then I was like, Nakul, it's not helping. So you better get...
Yeah, you get with it or you're done. They don't want to talk to you anymore. You're old, you're passé, you're forgotten. You're a Pete Sampras generation guy.
Okay, last two. WhatsApp groups to you mean?
Family and communication.
Okay. COVID-19 for kids has been like?
Ooh, it's been, in one word, a jail in every aspect. Emotionally, physically. It's been, an absolute nightmare for children, specifically the last 6 months, where now their behavior and emotional problems are troubling them more and troubling us more as pediatricians than their physical, and COVID as a physical disease aspect.
Right.
So COVID as an emotional disease, a behavioral disorder, is turning out to be a bigger pandemic than the COVID as a medical disease.
Right. Dr. Nihar, thank you so much for chatting. I had no idea this is going to be such a fun chat. And contrary to what people think, chatting with doctors is going to be fun. This one is actually quite a lot of fun.
I kind of had to bring out that teenage parent in me to get the fun element out, because, being a teenage parent, you are on the test. If you're not cool enough, they won't sit around you. If you're not cool enough saying things that they want to hear, if you're not cool enough up with the latest goss of who's going with whom and where and with which star is dating which star and which TV show is happening, you're not out there. You're not. Here I'm trying to figure out which Baby Shark version is the most famous right now at the clinic. I have to keep up with teenage daughters at home.
Yeah, I mean, you have quite the dichotomy, dude. You have
Absolutely. I have to watch Baby Shark videos in the clinic and Squid Games at home. So it's a big contrast.
This is hilarious.
They are insisting that I watch Squid Games. It's so depressing to see people die and being shot in that show. And they're saying, you've not reached the end yet. You've not reached the show has been over. Like, it's been online for the last 1 month and you've not even seen it. And then when I tell them, I saw it, they'll ask me questions to counter check. No, you're lying. You don't enjoy it. So it is a thorough test at home, but it's an epic time. So that number at the top of the screen that says 18 plus doesn't mean anything nowadays. Everybody's watching everything. 18 plus only scares us. It doesn't scare them. So it's an absolute roller coaster at home as well. It's a lot of fun.
Listen, next time I'm not going to interview you as a pediatrician for sure. You are going to be only a teenage father. You are far more hilarious. Yeah, it's just too much fun.
It is an experience of a lifetime to be a parent of a teenage girl or a boy.
Such a great chat. Thank you so much.